right, last but not least before our intermission, we have Sara Heidinger. For the past 3 years, Sara Heidinger has been co-running Underground's Coffee House and Roastery, a coffee shop she owns with 2 partners, Bridget Morris and Bill Metzger. The coffee shop is located in the Old First Ward, where Sara was born and raised. She moved back to Buffalo after living in NYC, working as a photographer for 5 years, and continued her photography business out of her studio located in the old Barcelo building on Louisiana and O'Connell Street until recently, when the building was sold and she had to relocate. Her studio is now run out of 500 Seneca, where she is helping curate the Cass Gallery in collaboration with the UB Arts Collaboratory. Sara is very active in her community and has been president of the board at the Old First Ward Community Center for the past 7 years. She sits on the committee for the DL&W Linear Park project, proposed by the Western New York Land Conservancy, for an abandoned 1.5-mile strip of railbed, and was one of the judges for their Design Ideas contest that drew entries from all over the world. In 2019, she was awarded 40 Under 40 from Buffalo Business First. Sara?
All right, good evening, everyone. So my coffee shop is in a former funeral home. As you can see, this is what it used to look like. You might wonder what a funeral home and a coffee shop have in common. Absolutely nothing. The building sits on the corner of South Park and Hamburg Street, and right about the time I moved back from New York, they stopped doing funerals there. And I wanted a place that I could walk to get a cup of coffee. Unfortunately, now I have to walk there and make everyone's coffee. But so we decided, myself and my business partners, it would be a good spot to open a coffee shop. In honor of what the building was, we called it Undergrounds. So we like to joke around about a lot of things. We say things like start your day before it ends, or it's not life or death, it's just a cup. All of our sandwiches are named after dead people connected to Buffalo or coffee. And our whole beans come in a black bag with a zipper, so it looks like a body bag. These are some of the photos of the construction we did. We did as much of it as we could ourselves. We also tried to reuse parts of the building. So if you come in, the first part of the bar where you order is parts of the floor. This is actually the floor that we found under mounds of powder blue carpet and powder blue carpet molding. I scraped the glue off that myself for about 8 hours a day for I don't know how long. But it's one of my favorite parts of the coffee shop when you come in now. There's me sanding the chairs. So it was a pretty hands-on experience. The construction took about a year and a half from start to finish, and if you come in now, it's hard to recognize that it was a funeral home, I would say. So this is a little bit of it as it was shaping up. We got the old benches from Coulter Bay. For me, they resembled a church a little bit, which I thought was a fun addition to the funeral home concept. Almost all of our light fixtures are from one of the reused stores throughout the city. Some stuff from your reused store. The chairs were refurbished from the arena, actually. They donated them to us. And the hardwood floor we found also under mounds of carpet and refinished. So we've been open for about 3 years now, and we have some really awesome murals done by a local artist, Nicole Cherry. And you can see her murals in the back of the store, the front of the store, and the bathrooms. We're told that we have some of the most favorable bathrooms in the city of Buffalo, which may be a good or a bad thing. Not entirely sure. So it's a pretty big space because they used to do funerals in the front and in the back. Some people come in and point out where their grandparents were laid out. That never really gets old. It's the thing I think we underestimated the most was the lack of people that would know it's a funeral home. So when that happens, people are sometimes very taken aback by it. So as you can see, there's some skulls, and we tried to play on the idea of, in New Orleans, they celebrate death, so we wanted to kind of celebrate what was the building and then what is the building. So the death of the funeral home and the birth of the coffee shop is kind of how we feel. So we also added this patio outside that we were super, super excited about. And, you know, we thought we would breathe some new life into the corner until about a month later, as you'll see in the next slide, a car went through it. So this year we were fortunate enough to be able to rebuild it again. So I'm a big fan of traffic safety. I think Simon's back there, he helped us paint some crosswalks that we're hoping to redo again, and stop lines to kind of make the corner a little bit safer, because it's pretty crazy. I'm fortunate to have an amazing mother who's a master gardener, and she redid the whole outside of the patio for us this year, so it's become kind of this little quaint Garden of Eden-esque place for us. You know, as you can see, we're still repainting some things and fixing it up. So we have, you know, aside from the construction of the building, we have monthly specials. They're all also named after dead people. This month we have the Harriet Tubman. So when you read our menu, you'll get a little history lesson along with the description of the sandwich. And we have a roastery club, and so those are all handmade ceramic mugs made by a local artist. Her name is Jody Seelan, and if you join the club, you can have your choice of any deceased person as long as someone else hasn't already chosen them. So we currently have 180 members, which was a little bit mind-blowing for me, to be honest. We thought it would be a fun way for our friends and family to invest in the coffee shop. And this is our roaster. We just put this in about a year ago, so that's down in the front of the store. If you stop in 2 to 3 days a week, we're usually roasting fresh beans, and it smells amazing. So I would invite you all to come and visit, because we would be happy to have you. And thanks for having me here tonight.